I graduated from Murdoch University with a bachelor's in forensics. They'd be like, oh, Miss Joy, yeah, I thought it was this, but it's not there. I've always been using personally these books. So they have a good range of multiple choice questions. Hi, my name is Joy, and I graduated from Murdoch University with a bachelor's in forensics about almost 10 years ago. I came back to Singapore from Perth, and I landed in an education job. That's when things turned for the better. I wrote programs for schools like RI Nanyang Girls, and I realized that this is my forte. I enjoy working with the kids, and I really enjoyed the time spent in schools. And I enjoyed seeing the joy in their faces when they learn something new and they're like, oh my God, Miss Joy, this is so cool, you know? Like, I never knew I could learn this, or I never knew this existed. So then I decided to equip myself with a professional certificate from International Diploma, Cambridge University. And I got a set for myself to equip myself with the skills and the knowledge needed to be a teacher and a trainer. I've got 10 over years of teaching experience, mostly tutoring, and I have a learning centre at Hougang Avenue 8. We've been operational for the past 5 years. This is also a student care, so we run student care and also tuition programs in the evening. We offer subjects like from P1 to P6, we have English, Math, Science, Tamil, Chinese, and then for secondary levels, English, Math, Chemistry, Physics for the upper secondary, and also Chinese programs. Okay, so science is everywhere. I believe that as a child, they will incorporate what they learn in English in science, they incorporate what they learn in math and science. So science is very wholesome. Science prepares the child for the future. Innovation, technology, evolution, development in schools, in societies, it all stems from science. So science hones concepts, knowledge, skills. So for a child, when they understand science, they also understand the skills required to answer scientific questions or even solve problems. It also stems their general knowledge, their literacy. So I believe that to be prepared for the future, which is going to keep on changing every time, science is very prudent. It's also very important for them to have a keen interest in science. So with that, I believe they can go very far and achieve far more than what they deserve. I believe there are quite a number, but I can narrow it down to at least about 4 to 5. So first up, misconceptions. When a child starts learning science in P3, like officially, right? So if they don't have a clear understanding of that particular topic, there's a misconception formed. And that misconception, if it's not addressed, is being carried forward till they finish their P6. Second is terminologies. These scientific terminologies is a world of its own. So students can't really relate to it. To them, it's like, logically, what I say makes sense. So why do I have to use this particular keyword or key phrase? So, but for science, there is a way of answering, which they have to carry forward when they level up to secondary, JC, university. So we have to train our kids right from primary level to start using those specific keywords and key phrases. Third, some concepts are very abstract. They'll be like, teacher, like, why do I have to learn this? Or I don't understand what is this about, because it's very abstract to them. They can't visualize, they can't relate to it. So because of that, that also poses a problem in their understanding. I think fourth will be experimental. Experiments, they don't do it every day. Like when you want to conduct a certain experiment, you have to understand the materials used or the apparatuses used or the units and the measurements. So because that's only used at particular time slots, they don't have enough practice. All these really clouds their mind and their understanding, and because it does that, they can't move forward. So these are the challenges that students face when they learn science concepts. When I refer back to the challenges that the kids faced, so first up was misconceptions. So I have given them, like, we will always give the kids an exhaustive list of misconceptions, grouped according to the concepts they learned. So these are based on observations that I've made over the past 5 years or so. And when they go through the misconceptions, they'll be like, oh, Miss Joy, yeah, I thought it was this, but it's not there. I'm saying, yeah, there you go. So boom, brain power moment. So they will have a list of misconceptions. So we have to address that first to make sure that what they learned, they've learned it well, they learned it correctly. Second will be the terminologies. So they also will be given a list of keywords, like keywords and key phrases tagged to each topic. So let's say, for example, if it's light and shadows, then we have all the list of keywords written down, and they will take a look at it and say, oh, okay, so I have to use these keywords for the open-ended questions. So then that will give them a better organization and structural approach when it comes to answering open-ended questions. Thirdly will be experiments. So because we are quite tied down as to the list of experiments we can perform due to the materials or the apparatus we have, we try to simulate the experiments using things that we can find at home. So the hands-on approach will also add on to their learning and their understanding. Fourth was answering techniques. So in schools, they are taught certain answering techniques for open-ended, like cause and effect, CER, claim, evidence, reason. So we also align ourselves with what's being taught in school, so that when the kids hear these words, hears these acronyms, hears these answering techniques, the more they hear, the more they apply, it becomes second nature to them. So the schools are doing a wonderful role of nurturing the kids, wholesome, physically, emotionally, mentally. Now they will go through the lesson plans, they will finish up their learning objectives, but there's still a limitation to it. So that's why it's imperative for the kids to start practicing what they have learned in school on a daily basis. I've always been using personally for my kids at the center these books. So we have the P3, P4 Conquer Science, the P5, P6 Conquer Science, and the PSLE Process Skills. Process Skills and Conquer Science try their best to cover as much as they can. So that adds on to their knowledge, that adds on to their curiosity, that adds on to their interests. Now, again, when I mentioned about misconceptions and the keywords, right? So process skills and these books, Conquer Science, they do explain to the kids at the back in their answering booklet. Practice at home using these assessment books. Learn from the mistakes. Look through the answering booklet and find out why your answer is wrong and why this answer is correct. So when you learn from your mistakes, you will soon find yourself making more correct answers or answering the questions correctly and minimizing your careless mistakes and minimizing your errors. The questions that are written in these books are very structured. It does provide the kids with intensive practice. So they have a good range of multiple choice questions. They have a good range of open-ended questions also. In fact, this book in particular has a very good range in open-ended questions, and it's a little bit more on the challenging side also, so it stretches the ability. So how to use it effectively? They can have a time practice. They can practice a topic or a worksheet a day, and then they can assess themselves. Look through the questions, find out where they made the mistakes, and then they can learn from the mistakes. So I think with this approach on a daily basis, or as frequent as they can, it will definitely hone their answering skills, their understanding skills. I'm going to focus more on the process skills, which is the open-ended skills, because that's where students really struggle most of the time, or most students struggle in this area. So through these books, kids will learn certain phrases. Some questions start with state, write, indicate. Some questions start with describe, suggest, explain. So when they practice these questions, they will then understand that, okay, this is how I should approach. So they will learn answering technique skills. That's number one, how to answer certain phrases, certain questions. Number two will be making inferences. So when they look at data, when they look at the table, when they look at the diagram, how to infer, how to read in between lines, how to understand the pattern or the relationship. So the more data they're provided, the more patterns they're provided, then they'll understand, okay, so when I look at certain graph, this is what it means. When I look at certain data, this is what it means. And from this data, this is the evidence I should extract. So by answering questions in these books, not only they will gain exposure to the various type of questions asked, they will also hone, practice, sharpen their answering technique skills. And when they check out the answers, they will understand that this is how I should approach, and these are the keywords that I should include to get the marks allocated. I believe it's better, in my personal opinion, and having used this book for an extensive number of years and across many different levels of students in terms of understanding, I find that it's very parallel to the exam being tested in school, that they're being assessed, let it be a mock test or an actual semestral paper. Give them the wide range of knowledge and the questions that might come out, the type of data or the graph, the diagrams that they will come across, and the different ways the same question can be phrased. That will give them more confidence in answering the question. So during exams, we have to understand that kids get frustrated, nervous, and anxiety also. So when they come across familiar questions on the paper, on the actual day, that kind of goes away and keeps them calm, and they're able to approach the questions with much ease. So to be entirely honest, motivation should come from within. It's very self-driven. But what we can do for the child, external factors, is to encourage them in a positive manner, emphasize positivity, tell them that they can do it, encourage them, supplement them with what they need, the resources that they should have. So if you would like to get a copy of these books, you can go to the website sapgroup.com and you can order these books online, or you can visit any of the popular bookstores and you can grab a copy. If you would like to check out our learning center, it's at aleague.com.sg. That's the website. Or you can check us out on our social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It's learningleague.com.sg.